my first project that I was involved with was actually in my first year. And I just want to say that I'm completely grateful for the projects that I got to work on and that I got to lead as well. I think it's one of the best memories that I've had in undergrad. So the first one that I was a part of was Winter Stations. It's called Snow Cone in 2014, and I was just helping out. It was honestly super hard work, a lot of time that you have to put into that. You have to squeeze in with your other courses that are part of the curriculum, but I don't regret it one bit. It was a really, really fruitful experience. Then the second one, I got to be leading a project with two other colleagues of mine, T and Dina. So that was very nerve-wracking because I wasn't just part of the help build fabrication team. I was part of the design team, and then you get to realize, I guess, a lot about how whatever you design, it's not that easy to bring to life. You have to really cut back a lot of ideas and shut down a lot of ideas that maybe you think are possible but aren't really possible once you actually have a client and have a actual site and dealing with an actual budget, and it just becomes much more realistic, and I think a great life experience for. It was really challenging, but I think the best part of it is that you're never really alone. I mean, not only the profs that helped us during this process, but also the DAS community within the building itself. These extracurricular projects that we do in these design builds, these are what bring us all together, because it's not just secluded to 1 year. We'll kind of maybe put a flyer out there somewhere on Facebook or whatever that we did, if anyone wants to help, right? And it's no one's asking for a credit or for money or anything. It's just us all doing something that we're really passionate about and just learning from each other. And I'm learning from my upper years, I'm learning from those below me, and vice versa. And I think it's a really great exchange as well. And not only that, an exchange with also the Toronto community. So having the client at the store as well, speaking to him, seeing what he wants. And again, we're not asking for anything from him, and he's not asking us for anything. And it's just a nice thing to kind of create something for the city of Toronto. When we're doing these design builds, no one's really trying to outwin the other, or everyone's just trying to create a project that comes out of Ryerson as best as it could be, giving our ideas and giving our input and giving our time. I'm sure it's gonna be helpful one way or another. Maybe it's taught me social skills, or things that I can't really measure or see clearly for myself, but I definitely don't think that it was a waste. I was part of the kids camp program. Definitely another spectrum of dealing with the community and their children, another world. It's very interesting to show architecture and design to children. It makes me think of it personally in a different way, and how can we make this more friendly? How can we make this more fun? So creating things like that and trying to do prizes for kids where we laser cut their faces on pieces of toast, or make them like build bridges with some kind of Lego formation of foam or whatnot. That was definitely interesting. You gave back to the community. You tried to teach the children something about architecture. Maybe one of the kids now feel like they want to do architecture when they grow up. I guess it's taught me to speak about architecture to non-architects, or people who might not be familiar with architectural concepts or architectural dialogue. So you want to maybe tone it down and try to speak in a more, I don't know, human way. I don't know, what do you call it? Like a non-architectural way. And, even from dealing with the clients in these projects, or even I had a project that I was working on the Battersea Museum for quite a while, and it took a lot to work with people who aren't necessarily techie or who aren't necessarily have that capacity to think in a way that's architectural. So it's difficult and it's challenging, but it's taught me a lot of patience. A studio doesn't offer, or maybe the other courses don't offer, is there's a strong bond that develops, like a strong relationship between my peers that it's when you've worked on a project, it's one of those things that I can never forget, and I can't forget even the people who worked with me. This was more personal. We were doing it because we wanted to. We were there because we wanted to. We were pulling all-nighters and, spending our extra time after studio in the building alone when no one was there, and ordering pizza. And then when you see your project, maybe it's not what you wanted it to look like, and maybe it's not as perfect as you hoped it would be, but it's still something, and you feel like you're immediately rewarded somehow for your efforts. And then the community, they really appreciate whatever you do. Like, they're just happy with whatever kind of installation comes. They're not very picky, like non-architects, I feel. So it's really nice to just see them and be like, wow. Like, one person came into the store at one point and saw Flummox, and they were just like blown away by it. It's definitely something special.